Winning couples, in this video, I am sharing with you the 5 strategies you and your spouse need to implement as you are planning your marriage vision day. You are doing a vision day, right? This is when you and your spouse sit down and create your strategic plan for the year. And we would love for you to use the Couples Playbook. Just go to IBelieveInMarriage.com/playbook. And in this video, I am walking you through the 5 strategies you need to have a successful vision day. And right before I share with you those 5 strategies, I had to share this hilarious moment that happened with my husband. So first, you'll see my husband and I having this conversation because y'all, he found a gift that he forgot to give me, and I need you to let me know, does he still get points even though he forgot to give me the gift? And then we'll dive right into the 5 strategies. So let's go ahead and check it out. Winning couples. I don't know what that was. Winning couples. I am here with my boyfriend. How do you feel about me calling you my boyfriend all the time?
I love it. I love it. I love it.
I'm here with my boyfriend. Y'all, he's not going to be here for this live, but as I am waiting on
y'all to come in.
Yes.
She's using me, just so y'all know.
Yeah. I am.
Use me, baby. Use me. Oh, okay. You got to start this over because you want to.
No, but it's a song.
Use me. Baby.
No, that's not what that says.
That's not what it says?
It says do me.
Do me. I think use me is better than in this situation. It's do me. It's do me.
But no, there's an old school song that says.
God, that was God. It's
an old school song that says use me up. So,
oh, it's a church song.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it's a song. Like is it? Oh, I gotta ask myself. It's something about use me.
I don't know.
Use me. Anyway, I am using my husband, and I'm actually gonna take the front of this and upload it to my personal Facebook page because this is hilarious to me. Are you ready to be talked about?
Carry on.
Okay, so one of our goals is to drastically declutter this year, right? Have we decided that this is one of our goals?
We didn't, but y'all have bullied me into you and my daughter, so
we are drastically decluttering. And so homeboy was over on his side of our bedroom decluttering. Now, this is the thing. This wasn't a part of the conversation. But what's interesting to me, when we start this decluttering, whenever you decide to start joining in, somehow everything starts coming over.
Because half of it is your stuff.
Oh, that's not true.
Well, it's a lot that's connected to you. Let's put it like that.
So he came over there a few minutes ago with it's like a file. Was it like a file container? Or like a Tupperware container?
Yeah, I don't know what it was. It was a container.
And what did it have in it, baby?
Weave.
Because he did not know you can reuse weave. I spent too much money on that hair. Anyway, okay. So I don't understand why you start decluttering. Somehow things are coming up. Babe, what do you do with this? What do we do with this? I don't want to participate. I'm doing my hair.
It has something to do with you.
That was one thing that has something to do with me.
Anyway, carry on. Let's go.
Okay. So he's over there decluttering. And I start hearing, baby. Oh my God, baby. He pulls out. Do you want to tell him?
No, you go ahead.
He pulls out this package and he opens the package and it is a complete gift that he purchased for me. We are assuming my anniversary.
Yeah, I think it had to be our anniversary. Yeah.
Not mine. Our anniversary.
Or no, we don't do anything for Valentine's
we don't.
Day. So.
You can't tell the people that because they're going to.
Our anniversary is like a week after Valentine's Day.
And we have both agreed. If your wife wants you to do something for Valentine's Day, do something for Valentine's Day. Okay.
But again, our anniversary is right after Valentine's Day.
In the culture of our marriage, we just don't trip about that. We really don't. Okay. So this had to be for our anniversary, y'all. Why is this? Why is this the cutest thing ever? It says, first time we met. It has the coordinates of the first time we met. It says the stoop.
Between Brawley Hall, that's where I lived, freshman year at Clark Atlanta University.
And Pfeiffer Hall.
That's where she lived.
And it has the map.
The coordinates are right here.
And this part is very important. When you plug it up, it lights up.
You really can't see it.
You can't see it right now.
Yeah, but it lights up. So at night, it looks pretty cool.
Y'all.
Your boy.
Is this not the... So the question is, when you watch this live, when I post this on Facebook, the question is, does he still get credit? Does he still get some points?
I should look at it, y'all. Look at it. Uh-oh. You got the light. Okay, there it is. I know you got the ring light back there. But
the first time, if this is not the cutest gift ever, I mean,
and the
not
funny
even
thing
cute,
is,
sweet.
I don't recall purchasing this. I don't recall what the circumstances were for. But clearly I had something really
in mind.
You're loving in mind.
And see, here's the deal. Ladies, cool. You'll understand this. When your man starts doing things that's not in his norm, your eyes start gonna, that left eye start gonna. And so my husband don't really buy stuff off of Facebook. So when
I think it popped up on Facebook. That's what I think happened. I think I was scrolling online and I was like, "Ooh, this is cool." I'm kind of making it up, but I'm vaguely remembering this.
Yes.
You
because do you remember that time you had on some sweater and all of us were like, well, "Where'd you get a sweater from?" And you take us to you got it off of Facebook. And it was a weird logo.
It was weird. I never wore that again.
Okay. So anyway.
And it had the date. It has the date on here, y'all. It has the date. August the 18th, 1993. That's when we met. First week of school. And the fact that you remember that.
First week of school. August 18th, 1993 is the first day we met.
So that's our connection anniversary.
Can we start celebrating our connection?
No. But hey. All right.
Anyway, just comment below and just say yes or no. Does he get any cool points for this?
Yes, I should.
I'm going to give him a real good kiss. Thank you, baby.
Okay, good. Oh, not here. I'm not going to mess up your makeup and stuff.
You want some lipstick?
No,
because you don't like that.
I don't.
Okay, you make it so cheap.
Okay.
Thank you, baby.
Bye,
so, y'all, let me know in the comments, does he get any points for that? All right.
Let me put it up somewhere prominent so that people can see.
Baby, we're keeping that in our bedroom.
Right here. No, so people can see it right here.
All right, y'all, we are diving into this conversation. I just had to share that with you all. It was so hilarious to me. That happened right before we got on this live. But today we are talking about how to plan a marriage vision day. I am going to walk you through. I have notes in front of me like I always do, because y'all know your girl will get completely distracted and go off script. I started talking about something different, like the anniversary gift that my husband got me that he forgot to give me. Okay, so I want us to dive in. So we are at the top of the year. And you all, I have found so many people who are resistant to really celebrating, paying attention to, engaging in the fact that a new year is a new opportunity, is a fresh start. And I think because many of us understand that research says that you can start to set resolutions in January, and by February, most people have let go of their resolutions. But I think we've taken that too far. We've decided I'm not doing anything. I'm not making January a big deal, but I want you to understand this is a great time. This is a natural rhythm for you and your spouse to sit down and strategize, vision your marriage for the year. What does the Bible say? Everybody repeat after me. Without a vision, what happens? Without a vision, the people perish. And so you do not want to operate within your marriage without a vision. And so I want to help you plan your vision day. I'm going to give you 5 strategies to plan your vision day. I'm also going to give you a bonus strategy that really could be weaved in to the other 5 strategies, but I wanted to separate it because I wanted to walk you through that bonus strategy very carefully. So today I'm about to walk you through these 5 strategies for you and your spouse when you all plan your vision day. You're planning your vision day, right? All right. So let's dive into this because I want you to understand this. Most couples are unconsciously doing 3 things. Number 1, you and your spouse, me and my spouse, if we're not careful, we are unconsciously still living out the wounds of our childhood and our very grown marriage. If you are not careful, you're living out the wounds of your childhood. Stuff that happened as a child is still impacting your marriage today. Secondly, the other thing that we're doing is that we're unconsciously trying to repeat what we saw our parents do. We're trying to create what our parents did, or we're trying to get as far away from what our parents did. But what happens is, because you are trying so hard to be or trying so hard not to be, that you end up not creating what the two of you want your marriage to be. And so you're either still living out the wounds of your childhood, you're repeating or rejecting what you saw growing up. And then the third thing so many couples are doing is that you are so afraid of your needs not being met that you refuse to prioritize your spouse's need. And that's why we want to do this vision day. I'm going to walk you through how to do it so that you all can create a marriage that is exactly what the two of you want. This doesn't mean that your marriage won't have challenges. It doesn't mean that you all won't face tough times, but you'll face tough times with clarity as to what we are building. So if you're just coming on, we are talking about planning your vision day. I'm going to walk you through exactly how to do that. And if you missed the beginning of this video, what my husband was on, you have to make sure at the end of our time together, you make sure you vote. Go back and look at the beginning of this video and just vote and let me know whether or not my husband should still get some brownie points. Once you watch the video, you'll understand. So let's dive right in. I want to give you these 5 strategies. Here is strategy number 1. I want the two of you to decide the format before you focus on the content. I want you to decide the format for your vision day. What happens for many couples is they jump right into talking about their marriage when they haven't decided how they are going to flow in the conversation, how they are going to do the vision day. And when you don't strategize that, one or both of you are going to end up irritated because you had a different intention than what your spouse did. And so I want you all to strategize how you're going to do it. So I'm going to give you 3 ways that you all can do your vision day. I'm going to share with you 3 ways, and I'm going to give you the pros and cons for each. I'm telling you, by the time we finish this video, you will have a strategy and a plan for your vision day. And I'm going to say this throughout our time together, that if you DM me the word example, just go to I Believe in Marriage and DM the word example, I will personally reply back with a link to a YouTube playlist. On that YouTube playlist, you will see my husband and I walking through, I think we did this last year, or it might have been 2 years ago, but we walked through, we literally had a camera, and I think we did it on Zoom, and we walked you through how we actually do our vision day, because sometimes you want to kind of see how other people do it. That doesn't mean you have to follow our format. It doesn't mean that you have to look at that whole playlist, because it's pretty extensive. We gave you a sneak peek into the entire process, but you can skip around in the playlist to get what you need. So just DM me the word example, and I personally am going to reply. Sometimes I have someone helping me, but I'm going to personally reply and send you the example of us going through it. Okay, so remember, there are 3 ways you can do your vision day. You can do a full day, you can do a half day, or you can spread it out over a week. I don't advise you spreading it out much further than a week, but if you have to do that, we understand. A full day, a half day, or throughout the week. So I want to give you the pros and cons of each, okay? So if you're going to do your vision day in one full day, this is the way I personally prefer to do it. I love having a staycation where we check into a hotel. We split the vision day up into 2 different times. We do it in the morning. Then we go do a really, really good lunch. Well, actually, we'll go get breakfast. Then we'll have a set time that we just focus on half of a day of vision planning. Then we go do a really good lunch, take a break. Then we do the rest of it that evening, and then we go out to dinner, and then we just have the rest of the evening. I love doing it that way, but the reality is when you have a lot of things pulling at your time and schedule, you may not be able to do that. But for those of you who are going to employ the full day strategy, let me give you the pros and cons of the full day strategy. Here are the pros. You can stay focused without rushing. It really allows the two of you to really flesh out, talk through, probe, ask questions, create space to really hear one another's heart, and you don't have to rush through it. It also minimizes distractions, or it keeps you from forgetting to come back to it. So it minimizes distractions because the two of you have set this time apart. And then the third pro is that it allows you to gain clarity and momentum quickly, because once you have that vision set, you can say, okay, we're ready to rock and roll. But there are some cons to doing it for a full day. One, it can be mentally and emotionally draining. When you do it for a full day, it can be mentally or emotionally draining. Let me put a pin in that. I do vision planning with clients. I'll do a VIP day where clients sit with me. I've actually done it with couples before, and we'll sit together for a full day. I have gone through VIP days, and so it can be very exhausting. It requires both of your schedules to be aligned, and if you have children, you got to find somebody who's going to keep the children for you all day. It can be very overwhelming when conflict arises, because let me tell you, conflict is going to arise, and it's not ideal for couples who have a hard time staying focused, okay? So this is best for couples who have some margin, who enjoy extended conversations, and who can stay focused for a long period of time. That is for those who can do the long vision day planning. And so as we're going through this, I want you to tell me, do you think you would do a long day, half a day, or throughout the week? Let me tell you about the pros and cons of doing your vision planning in half a day. Here are the pros. It feels more realistic, right? Instead of saying we're going to do this from 9 to 5, and you say we're going to get this done between 9 and 12 or 10 and 1, it feels more realistic. It's easier to schedule this around your real life, and it allows you to stay emotionally engaged. Those are the pros. But there are some cons to doing it half day. It requires that you are intentionally pacing the time out. Somebody has to really say, okay, we only have 15 minutes for this segment. We only have 20 minutes for this segment. You really have to intentionally pace it out. It could feel rushed. It could feel rushed in half a day, right? Because some of the topics are going to require more intentional conversations. So if you do it in half a day, it could feel rushed. And then lastly, you have less time to process those emotionally charged conversations. And so those are the cons. But half a day is best for couples who want depth, but they need some structure around it, and they want to stay present and productive in a short amount of time, okay? Remember, I'm giving you 5 strategies. This is just strategy number 1. Baby, you all can take this video, you all can watch it, and then go plan your vision day, and then come back and let me know what you learned, okay? So right now, we're still on strategy number 1. Before you all start planning your vision day, you want to slow down and figure out, how are we going to do it? Are we going to do it for a full day, a half a day, or this is a way that I have been talking to couples about recently, and you can spread it out over a week, right? So what my idea of that is that when you use the Couples Playbook, we hope that you're going to use the Couples Playbook. Just go to IBelieveInMarriage.com/playbook. If you're watching this on Instagram, click the link in our bio. If you're watching this on YouTube, the link is in the description. When you use the Couples Playbook, we help you identify the different categories of your life. And so if you spread it out over the course of the week, if you have, let's say that there are 10 different categories of your life, and you're going to spread it out over 5 days, you can focus on 2 categories a day. You can set an alarm or set a timer and say, we're going to give this an hour and a half, and we have to get through 2 categories. And so we're going to do an hour and a half every day for a week. That is a way that some people can do it. Here are the pros for that. It can reduce the pressure, and it can take away a little bit of the emotional overload, because you have a start and stop time. You know what you're focused on in that time. It can allow you to have some reflection time between conversations. So maybe on day 1, you all talked about vacations, and you talked about finances, which I don't know that you should do that on day 1, but that's another conversation. Then day 2, maybe you talk about the business that you all are going to start together, and the plans you have for your children and their education. Maybe on day 3, you all are talking about your educational goals and how you all are going to handle that situation with caring for your loved one, your parent. So you have time in between the different categories to think through and to reflect. And this strategy works really well with busy couples. Here are the cons with this strategy. It requires discipline to finish. It's easy to lose momentum. You can feel a bit disjointed, and life distractions can definitely keep you from completing it. But this is best for the couple who has limited time, who feels like they don't have anybody to help with them with the children. You just want to get it done. That's a strategy that can help. Okay, so here's the bottom line. I just want you all to not think about it as this is the right way to do it. I want you to think about it like this is the realistic way for us to do it. It is not about perfection. This is about you all getting it done. Okay, so strategy number one is the two of you need to sit down and identify, how are we going to do our vision day? Are we going to do it all day? Or are we going to do half a day? Or are we going to spread it out over the course of a week? And I want the two of you to be on one accord with that. Okay. So the question you're going to ask yourself is, what do we realistically have the capacity for right now? Lean in. Lean in. I know you may want to do it a certain way, but if you don't have the margin to really do it that way, you want to do it in the way that's realistic, that's going to ensure that you get it done. Okay. Remember, DM me the word example and I will send you the link that you can see my husband and I going through the Couples Playbook. You don't have to watch the whole thing. I think it's almost 11 videos in that playlist. Just skip around so that you can get the gist of it. Just DM me the word example. Here is strategy number 2. I want you to make sure, so many couples miss this part. So many couples miss this part. I want you to make sure that you do your own processing before you come together. Now, again, my goal is to help you get this done. And remember, I'm hoping that you use the Couples Playbook to do your vision planning. And when you use the Couples Playbook, you will see that there is a part where I first walk you through the husband by himself, the wife by herself. You're going to go through and answer the vision questions, answer the probing questions for yourself. Listen, marriage is not about you losing your voice. Marriage is about you all creating a unified voice. But if you have not gotten clarity about your own goals, if you haven't gotten clarity about what you want to see happen in the year, then how are you going to be able to be a vital part of the conversation? So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you sit down and you go through the vision planning process first. Know what your goals are financially. Know what your career goals are. Know what you're interested in happening with the children. Know what hobbies you want the two of you to try. This doesn't mean that your way is the way. Somebody lean in. This doesn't mean your way is the way. But what this does mean is that you are bringing your ideas to the table. So listen to this. You cannot merge. Somebody needs to DM this put this on Facebook. You can't merge what you haven't named. The Couples Playbook is about helping the two of you merge your life together with intention. How are you going to merge your life together if you haven't even named what's important to you? And when couples skip this step, what ends up happening is somebody ends up resentful. When you skip this step, somebody ends up resentful because they feel like their voice isn't heard, that one person is dominating the couple's vision. But you have to take responsibility for articulating what's important to you. Okay? So that was point number 2, strategy number 2. Number 1, you want to identify how we're going to do our vision planning. Number 2, you want to do some vision planning by yourself first to get clarity about what's important to you. When you use the Couples Playbook, we walk you through that for the first time. Let me jump in here real quick. You've heard the first 2 strategies, and I hope already you are ready to dive into your vision plan, and we would love to be a part of that. In the description, I have the link for the Couples Playbook. It is already laid out for you. We walk you step by step as you and your spouse create your vision for your marriage. So head on over to IBelieveInMarriage.com/playbook. We'd love to give you an easy step-by-step process so that you and your spouse can know clearly what's taking place this year. year. All right, let me give you the next 3 strategies plus a bonus one. Okay, number 3. Y'all should know. Over here, we're helping Christian couples win in their marriage. You should already know what number 3 is. The 2 of you need to be prayerful. You need to be prayerful. Hear me. You have to understand there is an onslaught against your I do. The enemy does not want the 2 of you to be on one accord. The enemy does not want the 2 of you to have a vision. The enemy does not want you and your spouse to have a marriage that succeeds. And so you have to understand all kind of things are going to try to come up to take you all off track as you are vision planning. You have to already know that. So the 2 of you need to stop and be prayerful. You need to pray that your hearts are softened. I'm giving you your prayer list. You need to pray that your hearts are softened. You need to pray that we can hear one another. You need to pray that where the enemy before has gotten you all tripped up, he doesn't have the authority to do that now. You need to pray that God creates in you a clean heart and renews your mind so that you can hear your spouse in a new way. The 2 of you have to pray for patience for one another. You want to grab hands and pray together. You want to invite God into the experience of your vision planning. I know I sound so dramatic with this because I have watched personally with my husband and I how the enemy will come and get us in our separate corners. I share all the time that the way my husband and I deal with life and deal with conflict, we do it in separate corners of the room. It takes great intention for us to come back to the center of the room because we process life so differently. And so I want to encourage you that you are praying. You are praying before y'all start visioning. Number 1, you're going to identify how you're going to do your vision planning. Number 2, you're going to do some vision casting for yourself first. Number 3, you guys are going to pray. And then number 4, this is really in line with what I just said with number 3, but I want you all to hear me. You have to anticipate roadblocks. You have to anticipate it. You have to know, number 1, something's going to come up to, you all have this scheduled on your calendar. Something's going to come up that's going to seem more pressing than that. You know, about maybe a month ago. It may have been a month ago. I knew that this particular Saturday, I was going to Panera Bread and I was going to be strategizing for my businesses, right? I knew I was going to be doing my own vision day, not for our family, not for our marriage, but for my businesses. And I already know how my family schedule is. I already know how things come up. I sent a text in the group chat and I said, listen, on Saturday, I am going to do this. Nothing is coming up that's going to take away this time. And when I tell you, even a homegoing service tried to come up. Now, this time I was able to stick it out. Sometimes I'm not, but you have to know that there are going to be things that are going to seem more important. It's going to try to come up. And not even just that. While you all are doing your vision planning, roadblocks are going to come up. Things are going to happen that's going to be distracting. Things are going to happen that are going to be frustrating. That one issue that you all cannot seem to resolve is going to come up. The bonus strategy is going to deal with that. The 2 of you need to talk about what are we going to do when the roadblocks occur? What are we going to do when you start to see me shutting down? What am I going to do when, see, so many things. Ooh, y'all hear me. So many things in your marriage could get resolved if you have a strategy on the front end. So many things, because listen, ain't nothing new under the sun. That's what the Bible says. The same things that trip you up always trip you up. And so if you have a plan or a strategy for that in advance, so when you all are sitting down to strategize and do your vision day, you all have prayed, and then you say, now, baby, I know whenever we talk about this, it gets a little challenging. What is going to be our strategy? Now, babe, I can sometimes tell when you're getting frustrated, your tone shifts. How do you want me to respond to that? Or I know sometimes when we talk about this topic, I get really, really anxious. How are we going to do that? When my husband and I do the strategic plan, the financial category, I have gotten up. I think I told y'all this story. I've gotten up and left the restaurant because I got so agitated, so upset, so overwhelmed. So now we know how to strategize for that beforehand, okay? And so I want you all to talk about how are we going to handle the roadblocks, okay? So I am helping you plan your vision day. You have identified if you're going to do a long day, half a day, or you're going to spread it out over the week. You've sat down and you've written out, you followed the playbook, the Couples Playbook, and you've written out your goals. The two of you have prayed before you started. Now you all have discussed the roadblocks. You have DM'd me. I see you there. You all have DM'd me with the word example. So now you've gone through and watched my husband and I do our strategic plan. You didn't watch all 11 videos, of course not, but you skipped around to get the gist, to get the idea. Now, mind you, when we did our strategic plan, it was very vulnerable. It's very vulnerable to let you all see the real deal of us planning out our whole life. Okay. Now, this is not in my notes, but I do want to say this, that it is very important, and I walk you through this in the Couples Playbook. It is very important that you all don't just vision, that you don't just vision cast. You got to have your calendar, because you all will do all of this and then you look up and you're not applying any of those things. So you want to make sure you're putting it on the calendar. You're assigning somebody the roles and responsibilities for the different things. I remember when our children were much younger, we were trying to figure out what camps they would go to. I was responsible for researching the camps. We were trying to figure out what tutor that they were going to have. Lee was responsible for finding the tutor. We were trying to figure out what marriage enrichment conferences where we were going to go to. I was in charge of finding the conferences. We were trying to figure out what marriage book we were going to read. He was responsible for finding the book. You want to make sure that you assign somebody. If it's not assigned, it's not going to get done. That's business 101. All right. Here is strategy number 5. This is huge. Remember, I'm giving you 5 strategies plus a bonus. If you're just coming on, make sure when I finish this live that you go back to the very beginning of the live, because my husband was here and we told y'all a situation that just occurred, and I want you to vote and tell me if he still gets brownie points or not. Don't forget to do that. Okay. So strategy number 5 is to start with vision, not with fixing. Start with vision, not for fixing. Let me tell you what I mean by that. When you're doing your vision day, that is not the day to try to resolve all your marital issues. Now, I promise you that's going to come up. Your marriage stuff, I promise, is going to come up. That's why we're going to give you this bonus strategy in just a minute. But that's not the day to start trying to resolve your communication issues. Although the Couples Playbook may expose your communication challenges, this is not the time to try to resolve all of that. If you start with trying to fix the dynamics of your marriage during the vision day, I'm telling you now you're going to get frustrated. I'm telling you now it's going to throw you off. The two of you have to come in with a very laser focus. You have to put blinders on. When a horse is in a race, the jockey puts blinders on the horse so that the horse is not distracted by what's going on in this lane and by what's going on in this lane. The horse is very focused on the end result. That's what you all have to do for your vision day. You have to put blinders on, because I'm telling you, again, remember what I told you in strategy number 2 when I told you have to pray about this? The enemy does not want, and I know some of us contemporary believers don't like to talk about the enemy, but you can ignore it if you want to. The Bible says we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities. There is a whole principality that's against your I do. You don't want to talk about the enemy. Talk about generational curses. Think about the family dynamic you came from. There is a whole system out to keep you and your spouse from being on one accord. And so you have to know when you sit down to start vision planning, this is not the time to start fixing all of our marital issues. As a matter of fact, when you get to the marriage category of your vision strategy, maybe when you start to recognize that stuff that's coming up, you have on there, find a marriage therapist. You have on there, go to a marriage conference. You have on there, go to Audible or to Barnes & Noble and find a book to help with this issue. Incorporate fixing into your vision day, but don't focus on fixing. That was good right there. And so some of the things you want to talk about is What is our goal? Where are we trying to grow? What is the ultimate beauty that we have for the marriage? When you go through the Couples Playbook, it is updated. We updated it about a couple of years ago, and my husband was so serious about some things that he wanted in the vision updating strategy. And one of the things he wanted was long-term vision planning. So we help you identify what are our goals for the next 5 years? What are our goals for the next 10 years? There's also some fun aspects within the Couples Playbook. You and your spouse coming up with your couple's name, just that kind of thing to add some levity to this very intentional process. Okay. So those are your 5 strategies. You're going to identify how we're going to do our vision planning. You're going to pray before you... No, you're going to identify how you're going to do it. You're going to vision cast for yourself. You're going to pray. You're going to anticipate roadblocks. You're going to focus on vision instead of fixing. But here is a bonus strategy, and then we will be done. Here is a bonus strategy. Oh my God. And this has come up lately as I have coached people through doing their vision planning. I want you to create a sticky areas list. I want you to create a sticky areas list, and then I want you to schedule it. Let me tell you what I mean. While you are doing your vision planning, I want you to have a separate sheet of paper. Now, if y'all are real fancy, you can have a big whiteboard if you want to do it that way. But I want you to have a sheet of paper and you write sticky areas at the top of the paper. This is before you all start actually strategizing. Put sticky areas. Then put a date. We will revisit these sticky areas in a week. Put the actual date. Maybe you do it in a week. Maybe you do it in 6 weeks. Maybe you do it in 3 days. You just put the date. Both of you agree with this. And as you're going through your vision day, the areas that get really sticky, the areas that you can't seem to get on one accord, the areas that are frustrating, you just write it down on that sticky areas. You just write it there so that you don't get distracted and you already know that you have a date to come back to it. Let me talk to my husbands. Hey, husbands. Now, this is a bit stereotypical. It could be role reversed in your marriage. But what often happens with your wife, I'm talking to my fellas. Fellas, what often happens with your wife is that she just wants to have some kind of hope that it is not going to be ignored. She wants some type of hope that we are going to deal with it. This sticky areas is a game changer. You want her to stay focused on the vision day. Put this down, and not only have you written it down, she also knows that there's a date for the two of you to come back and discuss it. Now listen, for the husband and the wife, don't make the date and then not honor the date. That's going to do more damage to your marriage. So when you go back to that sticky areas, you may not be able to resolve all those issues on that date, but you know you're going to be discussing those issues, okay? And so for the sticky areas, you're not judging it in that moment. You're not trying to fix it in that moment. You're definitely not trying to debate about it in that moment. Because see, even as I'm saying this, I am sensing somebody going to be debating about whether or not they should even put this thing on the sticky areas. So here's a rule. If your spouse believes it needs to go on the sticky area, let's just go ahead and put it on the sticky area. Here's where you don't want to manipulate. Just because it's something you don't want to talk about, don't put it on the sticky area. This is you all are trying to talk it through. You keep bumping heads. It seems like somebody's about to shut down. Let's just put it on the sticky area. This requires emotional maturity from you both. All right, so we have talked through the 5 strategies plus the bonus strategy. One more time, you're going to decide the format before you focus on the content. You're going to do your own processing before you come together. You're going to be intentional about praying before you begin. You're going to anticipate roadblocks instead of being surprised by them. You are going to start with vision, not fixing. And then bonus, you're going to create a sticky areas list. And not only create the list, you're going to schedule a time to unpack it. All right, y'all, I hope that helps. And I really hope that you use the Couples Playbook to create your vision day. Just go to IBelieveInMarriage.com/playbook. If you're watching this on Instagram, click the link in the bio. We truly believe this is the best time to get started on creating your vision for your marriage. Without a vision, the people perish. If you all are not creating a plan, you will not be on a plan. One of the things that couples tell me all the time is, Robin, my spouse and I are just not on the same page. Couples don't stumble onto the same page. You have to create the same page, and this is how you do it. So click the link in my bio, and if you want an example of my husband and I going through our strategic plan, DM me the word example. DM me the word example, and I will send you a YouTube link. You can just go through that link. It's 11 videos. You don't have to watch all the videos. Just play around, click around in it, and get the meat and get what you really need. So I'm so excited. If you're going to do your strategic plan, just comment doing it in the comments. Let us know. If you get stuck, let us know. I'm super excited about this time of year. I'll see you all next time. One of the comments I hear from couples all the time is, Robin, my spouse and I are just not on the same page. But here's the truth that I have to tell them, and I want to tell you. You don't just stumble onto the same page. You have to be intentional, and that's why I created the Couples Playbook. This newly revised edition walks you and your spouse step by step through the conversations, the plans, and the decisions that help you once and for all get on the same page and win together. Not just in one area of your marriage, but in every area. So if you're ready for clarity, unity, and a real plan you both can follow, this is your moment. Grab the Couples Playbook.